Are you ready to get started?
Yes. So sorry, everyone.
Well, I just want to say welcome to everyone. It's so nice that you can be here, and I see so many of our upper elementary parents, and that's just a testament to how amazing our upper elementary program is because of you parents and being here to support us tonight. So thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to share the screen.
Is that me again? Oh.
You're here.
Yay.
You made it. Okay. So the focus of our Parent Ed Night is why upper elementary. And just to tell you what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to give you the introductions of all of us teachers, why, what, and how we do curriculum. Then what the students and parents say about upper L. We'll show you a little of students in action and some more specifics on content. And then we'll have a question and answer in the end so that we can answer any other questions that you may have. Okay, so first we have Miss Jen.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Jen Westaway. I'm one of the teachers in upper elementary. Welcome.
I'm Miss I plan integrated studies with upper elementary, and I also teach readers and writers workshop. And sometimes I pop into the integrated studies time slot, and I just wanted to also share that I have a 4th grader in our class who loves upper elementary so much. Miss Morgan?
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Morgan. I'm also a member of the Cedar Upper Elementary class. Welcome everyone.
It's the parent conference, Kylie.
Miss Jackie?
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Jackie or Miss Jacqueline, whatever you'd like to say, and I teach geography, integrated studies, the reading and writing groups as well, and I'm in home base A, so that's where my home is as well, so I see that class for most of the day, and it's nice to see everyone.
Miss Christy?
Hi guys, I was not expecting to be on camera. So
oh, this is the wrong one.
Please forgive the appearance. My name is Miss Christy, and I'm actually helping out with integrated studies, and I have a daughter who's in 5th grade. So it's nice to see everyone.
And Miss Trish.
Hi, everybody. I'm Miss Trisha, and I am new to the Cedar classroom this year, but not new to it as a parent. I've had 2 sons go through the Cedar classroom before in previous years, but I am in there. I have taught integrated studies, and I teach spelling and vocab. I also teach media or digital literacy, and I also do marketing for the school. So nice to see everybody.
All right. Oh, and then we have Miss Jess, who couldn't be here tonight, but she teaches math to our 4th and 5th graders. Okay, so we'll dive right into the why of our curriculum. And the why is simply to create conscious humans. And the founder of Conscious Curriculum is Tracy Edelson, and she says it really beautifully. To develop humans that not only learn content, but all the content and skills acquisition are in service to enabling students to communicate their deeper evolutionary process. So to create conscious humans, our curriculum is driven by these really important questions about the issues of humanity. So we go through time in history, and we begin with ancient civilizations. The question being, does man have an inborn need to create civilization? Then we move to barbarians, and the question is, what makes us who we are? Then we go to the Middle Ages. And the question is, how is it that when something bad happens, it could really be for our good? Then we move to the Renaissance. What does it mean to be enlightened? The Age of Exploration. How do you balance maintaining your own authentic self while embracing new concepts, cultures, and community? The Native Americans. What are the sustainable practices that maintain civilization? Florida history. What are the responsibilities of a civilization to protect the natural world? Early colonization. This is the one we just finished. What are the moral implications of colonization? The American Revolution. Why do we challenge authority and when is it okay? And then the birth of a nation. What is the process of creating a new design? And so, you know, these questions seem really challenging, but the kids, they really rise up to the expectation when you set asking these kinds of questions as the norm and you make it relatable to them. And these questions are really important, especially in the times that we're facing right now, because this is the human story and the story repeats itself unless we explore these questions in a deeper way. So you'd be super impressed the way that our kids really get to answer these questions, especially after a 3-month unit of study. And then our projects are designed to explore all the writing genres, complemented with a project that uses the soft skills to share knowledge the way people do in the real world. So not only do we explore, like other schools, narrative, expository, persuasive writing, but then we choose a complementary project where the students get to share their knowledge. So for instance, a historical fiction narrative will turn into a graphic novel. A fantasy narrative, we turn into script writing or storyboard into digital storytelling. Poetry becomes an anthology, which becomes a performance of a play. Biography becomes a documentary. Expository becomes a living museum. Persuasive becomes eco art. In a different unit, persuasive becomes a debate. A memoir becomes monologue, and expository becomes Prezi. And we're gonna take one of these writing genres to the project and break it down so you can see all the amazing things that happen. Okay, so then we use a really important tool to plan, and we have spent summers and summers of intensive and intentional and fun planning. And this planning tool makes sure we are completely cross-curricular. So we're not just teaching reading for reading. We're teaching reading to teach writing, to learn technology, to learn art and habits of mind. And there's demonstrations of understanding for each to make sure that it's multidimensional and social emotional component to it. And in the process, there are very important habits that are developed. So we have be clear and seek clarity, be open-minded, restrain impulsivity, be aware of your own thinking, evaluate the effectiveness of your own actions, push the limits of your own knowledge and abilities, and engage intensely with tasks even when the answers or solutions are not immediate or apparent. And these seem like really hard habits to develop, but when you see the student testimonials in a little bit and the parent testimonials, you'll see how that happens for them, or you'll see them explain how that happens for them. Okay, so the how is, well, we engage in an elaborate learning process, of course. So in every, this is the design and sequence of one unit of study. And it looks linear in this chart, but it is a non-linear process. So we always start with a rollout, which always begins with a student engagement. So for instance, when we were doing our debate, studying early colonization, we had the students listen to the Hamilton songs, the debate songs, and then we had them debate on topics they really cared about, like should TikTok be banned, or should we wear masks at school? The one that we just did recently, because we're studying memoir for American Revolution, we had all of our teachers write a memoir and the students had to guess who wrote it, playing whose line is it anyway. Those are just a couple of examples. Then we move into the inquiry, where we always begin with a KWL, because we want to know what they already know, because we never want to spend too much any time on things that they already know. Then we go into the W, where we explore anything they want to know and that they're curious about in a topic. And then the L is when we all come back together and we have now this new body of knowledge when we share what each other have learned. Then we move into a more guided inquiry, where they get into more specific topics and begin their research process. And they do this through cultural bins that have a wide variety of different genres of books. And then we also have a virtual cultural bin where they get to explore different websites and videos. And the really cool thing is that our students are really getting to know what saturation of knowledge is, because they start reading everything and everything there is out there, and they start to see all this information, or the general information, repeating. Then they need to dig a little deeper to get different sources to get their learning to go even further and find out more about their topic. Then we move into the creating, where they have to create a project and in a collaborative way. And then we move into presenting. And so for instance, we just did the debate. We're going to be changing our memoir into a monologue to present. And then we go to the evaluative process, where they evaluate themselves with a rubric, and then the teachers evaluate them. And we talk about this in a reflective way, where they get to talk about what they've learned about themselves through this learning process. So the how is the wheel of best practices, supported by researchers and theorists. So these theorists have been around, some of them around for a century. And then we also have, researchers that are current day. So, and if you noticed around the entire wheel, Montessori believed in all of them. So we have our essential questions, that always is the driving force of the unit. The differentiation, making sure that we have high expectations and different goals for everyone. We have inquiry-based learning, where they get to explore their own curiosity. Project-based learning, where they need to create. Key experiences are the mini lessons that we need to do, or scaffolding of skills that the kids need to acquire to be successful. There's technology integration, and just the whole virtual component and or hybrid situation we have has really expanded their knowledge, especially using Google Classroom as the hub. And now they know how to email to communicate with teachers, and use Google Docs and slides to present their knowledge. So, and attend Zoom meetings. We have the habits of mind, which we explored, the comprehensive assessment, 21st century skills, social emotional learning, mindfulness, and integration.
Hey, Steph.
Yes.
I think you failed to mention, because you're too modest, that you're getting your PhD in curriculum design.
Oh, thank you.
It's just very impressive. So all of it, including you.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Of course.
It's been an awesome process, and this wheel is actually a result of all of that research.
Yep. This is my favorite slide.
Thank you. So let's see, let's take a closer look at our first unit of study. It was early colonization with the conscious questions. What are the moral implications of colonization? We wrote a persuasive essay that turned into the debate project. And here are our kiddos, our Cedar debaters. a lot of them. So we have some fun debate questions. For example, we have, what are the pros and cons of technology the colonists brought with them? Of course, we have the affirmative and the negative side of each question that they needed to learn what those terms mean. How have diseases colonists brought to America impacted the Native Americans? Who gets to choose one human rights over another? What are the ways community was defined amongst the Native Americans versus the colonists? How did the spiritual beliefs of the colonists affect the Native Americans? Does someone get to choose if one lives or dies? And who does the land belong to? So these are some big questions that, you know, the kids thought they might never be able to answer, but they did. And so here is a couple of debate compilations for you to see them in action.
Did you share your sound?
Oh. Thank you, Jen.
Sure.
Let me start that again.
Because the colonists advanced the land when the blood in your veins returns to the sea, and the earth in your bones returns to the ground, perhaps then you will remember that this land does not belong to you. It is you who belongs to the land, by an unknown Native American. Some may believe that the colonists deserve the land because the colonists advanced the land to present day. But however, I believe that the Native Americans deserve the land because the colonists tried to change the Native Americans into Christians, and the colonists also brought tons of diseases to the New World.
In some cases, the natives would give them the land, but then use crude attacks like ambushing and guerrilla warfare.
The Puritans didn't realize that they were treating the Wampanoags exactly how they were treated back in England, and that is not fair. The Puritans believed in God, as you well know, while the Pequot Indians that lived nearby Connecticut and Rhode Island believed in the Great Spirit. Here with this quote said by Chief Pontiac, "They came with the Bible and their religion. They stole our land and crushed our spirit, and now tell us we should be thankful to the Lord for being saved."
The colonists taught the Native Americans their religion, Christianity, Judaism, and Baptist. The Native Americans only grew smarter by this. They can see beyond each other's differences, and they can share similar creation stories.
There are some people who think someone should choose if you live or die. We don't think anyone should choose if you live or die. People in Salem thought that people should die with no real evidence.
At last, William Samuel Pierce died in February 1726, which concluded the allowance of spiritual evidence.
The people who were accused of witchcraft had to go through a test that were unbearable, but however, people believed in the test. Thirdly, witchcraft caused hysteria. 27 suspected victims died, hundreds had hysteria over the madness, and everyone was scared. This all led to many false accusations, which then led to executions.
The community was based around God, and the Bible is the most important book. As said in the Mayflower Compact, undertaken for the power of God, and advanced for Christian faith and honor to our King. This proves that the community was bigger than most people thought, and that it wasn't just the colony, it was England too.
Lastly, how the Native Americans worked together. For example, the men would hunt food, the women would cook it. The men would build shelter while the women would make clothing. And then, riding horses was a big part of Native American culture. The parents would teach their kids how to ride horses, and then they would fight on them. In conclusion, now do you think that the Native Americans had better communities than the colonists?
Okay, Ms. Trish, did you want to highlight anything? Oops.
On the section about the debates?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're going to cover it in the next slide, but we didn't just get to this place where the kids were debating these topics. We had a couple simulation debates to get them ready for it. But the one that was most noteworthy was a topic that Miss Steph threw out to us that shocked all of us when we heard it. It was a man versus technology debate. And so it started with an in-class listening of a favorite short story of mine and coincidentally Miss Morgan's as well, written by Ray Bradbury in 1950 called The Veldt. It's an amazing short story, and the primary message is about the concerns and the dangers of over-reliance on technology. And it's kind of a cautionary tale about how technology can completely consume a household and drive this big wedge between parents and children. And so it was a very foreboding tale, and the students, of course, could draw a lot of metaphors in the story to what's happening, today with technology and kids and their phones and, gaming and everything. So it was a great entrance into that debate simulation. But then when we posed the question to the kids, will technology be the end of mankind? And they were required within a class period to debate and have, they had to take a side, and then they had to actually go through a mock debate and defend their points. It was fascinating because even the teachers didn't even know where to begin with an essential question like, will technology be the end of mankind? But they were able to do it. They loved it. They dug in. They talked about military applications. I mean, all sorts of things. But it just goes to show and demonstrate rigor. We present these very, very high level concepts and critical essential questions to the students, and they have no idea how they're going to come up with an answer. And we kind of teach them that in that discomfort of not knowing is really where the growth occurs. And so they sit with it, they follow the process, they're learning to trust the process that Miss Steph and Miss Jen have implemented in the classroom. And at the end, they have a wonderful debate, and they're so proud of themselves. And honestly, like, the teachers are practically in tears watching them get up and stand in front of their peers and defend their points on really sophisticated topics. So Morgan, did you have anything else? Because Morgan and I talked about this during 10 recesses after how proud we were and how impressed we were with the kids. Did you have anything else to add, Morgan?
No, I think you covered it pretty well, but just from a teacher's point of view, like Miss Tricia mentioned, we were all a little, wary and nervous of such a high level thinking question being posed to kids of the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade level. And I think what almost brought us to tears, I think it brought Miss Tricia to tears for sure, was the fact that these kids rose to the occasion higher than I feel the teachers did, where we were more nervous, and they just really took the bull by the horns, and they just shocked us all of how much it means to trust the process and trust being in the discomfort stage as a teacher and also as a student, and where they were pulling their information and quotes from Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking and quotes from Back to the Future 2 about how technology would look in the future. I mean, the possibility is endless where they're pulling their information, and that is really accredited to the program that Miss Stephanie has developed in the sense of research-based learning and how much they can really dive deep into a subject that they know nothing about and can come out in the end just with an abundance of knowledge. And I think that was what impressed me and Miss Tricia, especially for the level of thinking that was required of them. So we thought it was beautiful.
Steph, I just wanted to mention one other thing briefly that was such an important real life skill through the debate process, was that these kiddos started with an essay about their position on the debate that they had to research and write an essay about. And then they took their essay and they turned them into note cards for debate points. And then from the debate points, they had to defend their positions. And what we taught them in the video, some of them got nervous and relied more on their note cards, but they did so much practice. But the thing that was really impressive for me as a business person was that we taught them how to talk their note cards. When I do pitches and presentations, you talk your slide, you don't read it. So these kiddos had to have a comprehensive understanding of their debate topic in order to be able to talk about it and defend their points. But what was so impressive to us was that they weren't memorizing their note cards. They were nervous, so they would go back to them, but they were talking, learning how to talk the debate points. They would look down at a bullet point and they would look back up and they would talk about it. Each time we told them it would be different because they're talking it. They're not memorizing it. They're talking their debate points, which I think is such an incredibly valuable skill. I didn't learn that until I was in graduate school. And I just thought that was really, really valuable and really helpful. And it's just so many real life skills packed into all of this curriculum. It's just beautiful.
Thank you. Okay. So actually, you both, thank you, addressed this slide very beautifully. So I don't think we need to spend time on it.
Right. Sorry.
We want to make sure that you guys get a chance to hear what the students and parents have to say about all of this. So we're going to start with the overview.
Hello.
Oh, also, I apologize for the volume on the computer. My volume is all the way up. So if you can't hear, please try to put your volume up.
My name is Karishma. We have been in Turtle River for 8 years. My son Ruhan was a very shy kid with separation anxiety until 4th grade. Teachers and staff always help to comfort both of us all the time. Today, Ruhan is blossoming socially, emotionally, and academically. He has learned lots of life skills at Turtle River. For example, how to manage a time between work and friends, how to handle group projects with different mindsets, how to reach out and ask for help when you need it, and be fully responsible for your work and due dates. I would strongly suggest Upper TRM, as Upper helps you deliver the skills in a very organic way that sparks your child's spirit for learning.
Okay. And then we have another topic, Be Who We Are, the social emotional component. A couple of short videos.
Hi, my name is Susan Schwering, and I have 3 kids at Turtle River. Elle is in 7th grade, Vaughn is in 4th, and Liv is in 2nd. One aspect about Upper Elementary and Turtle River that my husband and I both agree that we love is the confidence that they've built in our children. They have created such a warm and inviting environment in the classroom that kids are really able to be themselves. They're really able to figure out what they stand for, what they'll say yes to, what they'll say no to, what they agree with, what they don't. And I really think that is so important as they get older to really just be confident in being smart, be confident in being funny, be confident in being fast and a great athlete. You know, they really honor the children and what the children are good at and what they love. They push them out of their comfort zone when needed and, you know, really make them thrive and grow. But I definitely agree that our children feel very confident at Turtle River. They feel very comfortable in their classroom and with their teachers. And that is something that I think is priceless.
I think Montessori is an embodiment of the growth mindset because of how you need to see everybody's perspectives instead of just focusing on one perspective or just your own perspective. You get a chance to look at everybody's, and sometimes that can change how you look at a certain issue or topic. And it teaches you a lot about how everybody thinks and giving you a chance to change your opinion over time and find out what you really think about something, and I think that's really important.
My name is Patrick Boltuni, and I am a 6th grader here in the Cedar class. I really enjoyed this class. It's really been a great class with all the students, and I'm really sad I'm going to be leaving it next year. I've been inspired to become a leader for the younger kids in our proud Cedar class, because I think that as they're getting older, they're going to be facing harder tasks. I like to try to teach the younger kids that you're going to have to be a role model when you're older.
I'm Tierney, I'm a 6th grader and I'm graduating. I entered Cedar 3 years ago, and when I started I was very introverted and shy, and over the years I've grown academically, and I've become more extroverted to people and made friends better.
Okay, and then we have one more.
We have community meetings led by students, and we talk about different topics every meeting, and we have kindnesses and issues. A kindness is if I see a student helping another student pick up their spilt water, then you put it in the box, and then at that community meeting, you can give it to the person. And the issues, if you see a problem happening with something in the classroom or something between two students, you can put it in the box, and the leader will see if they need to address this.
Okay, and then we'll hear what the students and parents have to say on rigor.
Another thing that I just wanted to talk about real quick is the level of rigor in the assignments that the kids get in the Cedar Room, lower elementary, and then also in the middle school. How challenged they are by the teachers, that despite the little homework they have sometimes, the assignments that I do see and the preparation and the research they need to put into the different topic really lets them go very deep in understanding a specific subject. And the part that I like most is that they have to present on it, sometimes with a debate team, or just getting up in front of the class and talking about what they have learned and different areas of a topic that they then particularly investigated. So I have to say, both of my kids always surprise me, the ease and self-confidence that they have when it comes to presenting. Even my older daughter, who's sometimes has a little bit more social anxiety, meeting new people or so, when it comes to talking about a topic that she has worked on and then needs to go up and present, she has no problem doing that. She is just self-confident and she's used to it, and I think that is such a great skill to have, the researching a topic, writing about it, and then putting a presentation together so they can talk to it, and then just getting up in front of everybody and talking. That I really like how the school and the Cedar Room does that.
Okay, we have one more on rigor.
The thing that I think makes integrated studies really rigorous is all the projects and all like the work that we have to put into it. I think my favorite project that we had to do was debate, because you really had to get like a total understanding of the entire project. Like there was no memorization in anything, so you had to really understand everything you were saying and kind of decide what you were going to say like right there and then, and so that was really cool.
I think the writing program is great because they challenge you and they make sure you're keeping up with your writing assignments. And in basically every class, we have a writing assignment, so that really helps.
Why don't you invite your parents over for dinner, or invite your father?
About the moral implications of colonization. This unit of study, we are writing a memoir about a person who played a role in the Revolutionary War.
So Danny, what do you think has been your favorite part of the integrated studies process?
I think that the inquiry-based learning has helped me the most during integrated studies, because it gives me the opportunity to have real factual information on historical figures and also real events that happened throughout history.
How did you feel about yourself and your work after you finished your debate last unit?
Well, for me, it made me feel more confident, because I have always wanted to be in a debate group in high school, so it made me more confident in my abilities to be a good debater.
How do you feel that you've grown in the integrated studies process from 4th grade in the beginning until now?
Well, in 4th grade, I viewed the process like it was really boring, and I didn't really trust the process. But now that I'm in 6th grade, I know what to expect and not to underestimate the process and its ability to guide me to my final project.
If you could give some advice to any incoming 4th graders about to start integrated studies for the first time, what advice would you give to them that you wish you could have given to yourself?
You have to trust the process, because like I felt in 4th grade. I didn't really think it was gonna work, or like I thought I was just doing it because it was school. But it actually really helps, and it can give you great opportunities in life to be a good debater and many more things.
The big question, I like it a lot more now because it's like your starting point and your ending point, and it's like a super high level thinking question, which like gets your brain thinking, and that's something that you'll need. Like you'll be asked those questions as you get older. I also love how every ending unit has a different project. Last unit it was a debate, and that debate taught me so much about myself. I loved it so much that hopefully when I get into high school I can join a debate team.
Okay, so I think those testimonies really spoke to like all the aspects. So we have more slides that get a little bit deeper into a readers and writers workshop, but we're going to go to math and science so you get a chance to see them. And then of course, if anybody wants to explore those things deeper, we have them to support you afterwards.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the math program. The 9 to 12 math curriculum really beautifully supports the passage from concrete to abstract learning because of the Montessori materials that we have available to us. The students quickly make connections using those materials and can often like see the formula acting itself out when we're using the materials and demonstrating. The classroom is designed to provide a variety of math experiences that both support the exploration of concepts and also the spontaneous discussion of ideas. The children are involved in small group lessons, large group lessons, hands-on manipulation of materials, and all of that is under the umbrella, of course, of our project-based learning. What's beautiful as well is that the children are able to work at their own pace. And as they get older, their work becomes more abstract. They have math assignments that they work on throughout the week. And then the older friends later in the year receive a minimal amount of homework, but that's like just for practice and for life skills. So we use a variety of supplemental and assessment tools as well as a textbook in the 6th grade curriculum. And even our virtual learners this year are experiencing engaging and challenging math lessons thanks to the internet, Google, Jamboard, and a lot of other integrative pieces of technology that we get to use. Listed on the slide, there's a variety of math concepts that the children work through in the scope of the 3 years that they're with us. So I can't speak to any particular grade level because it is fluid. The children work at their pace, and so they move through those concepts as they're ready. So that's math.
Hi everyone, my name is Morgan again. I teach 4th and 5th grade science. So as far as curriculum goes, we begin with zoology, the study of animals for Unit 1, and then we move on to botany, the study of plants for Unit 2, and then we end with ecology, the study of the interconnectedness of life and relationships between living organisms for our final unit, Unit 3. Before Christmas break, we wrapped up Unit 1 on the study of animals and how they meet their vital functions. So the children learned how these vital functions such as nutrition, respiration, and circulation are necessary to sustain life. And at the end of that first unit, the students' final demonstration of understanding project was to do a very in-depth research project on an animal of their choice and how that animal meets and carries out its 6 vital functions. Truly, the students really blew me out of the water this unit and went above and beyond with their research skills that they truly acquired throughout the integrated studies process in the first unit, which truly has benefited them greatly across all their subjects. And I just really have seen it in science so far. And right now we're moving on to Unit 2, which will cover botany, which really allows the students to explore living organisms, tracing all the way back to the beginnings of life. And through research and observation, the students will be diving deep into the plant kingdom and learning the various characteristics of plants, as well as how plants meet their vital functions. And lastly, how plants form the critical base of food chains in nearly all ecosystems. And I would say that's something really impressive and beautiful, kind of like Ms. Jen talked about our science curriculum as well, is that it's hands-on and project-based learning. So throughout each unit of study, the students work and collaborate together on many small projects that will lead up to their more comprehensive and extensive final demonstration of understanding project once they reach the end of the unit of study. And the students do participate in various experiments in correlation to state standards and the lesson material that they're studying. And something else that Ms. Jen talked about in math also jumps over to science, that really it's important for you as parents to know that technology really plays a huge role in student science lessons. So for example, we just took a virtual field trip to the jungles of Sri Lanka, and we explored different types of traits that would help an organism survive in that kind of environment. So that was really something fun that the kids and I just did. And really just to wrap it up, we also learn about different ecosystems and the environment. For example, we recently just studied how orangutan habitat destruction is greatly affecting the ecosystems in Southeast Asia. And the students learned how the palm oil industry has been and continues to be a major driver of deforestation of some of the world's most biodiverse forests. So that's what we just covered last week. And the kids really challenged themselves to go home and find out how many household products included palm oil and offer replacement options that are more sustainable to their parents, which I thought was pretty cool. So this really just goes to show how our Montessori students truly learn how to love the environment and understand their personal important role that they play in preserving our planet and its ecosystem. So this is just a taste of what your kids will be learning in the upper elementary science. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Morgan.
And I can tell you about our specials. We have band with Miss Jill. They have art with Mr. Matt and media with Miss Tricia. They have STEM with Miss Emily. They have PE once a week, and the cycle changes the sport, which is always fun, and Spanish with Miss Veronica.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to see any more in-depth information about our writers and readers workshops? Or have any questions just about the program in general?
I wanted to take a moment and just give kind of an inside perspective. First, I just want to take this opportunity to thank our amazing team of teachers that just give of their heart every single day. Certainly the talent, but their heart is even bigger than their talent. And just acknowledge that it was a little bit of a tricky start to the year, just where we had to go where there was a huge part of our class that was virtual, in person, some teachers were virtual. And so just the process to see how the community rallied together. And instead of having fragmented little snippets of classes, it really is one amazing class. And then to see how our fourth graders especially, they jumped into technology a little bit more than they would have. And just the learning curve that would have been huge, how they rose above it thanks to the support of our teachers. So I wanted to reassure the lower L families that the same sense of family, the same interconnectedness, the same nurturance and love and rigor definitely follows you up through the upper elementary. So it still has that family feel. It's just bigger lessons, basically, but just rest assured that this team of teachers is fantastic and your kids will be in great, great hands.
Okay, well, if there's no more questions, then we'll let you go enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you all so much for coming. Oh, Cindy.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I was just going to make a comment really quick if I could. First of all, the presentation and the videos and everything was amazing. And like Trisha, I'm feeling choked up and I may get emotional just from watching everything. It was so wonderful. So thank you, all of you, for doing what you do. I've also been a parent at Turtle River for 13 years. And as a working mom, I just want to say thank you, because I feel like so blessed that that Trevor's in such good hands, and Olivia was as well. Now she's graduated, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. I'm always blown away when I go to the graduations or when I participate, and I obviously hear things from Trevor all the time, but this was so special. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, there were so many parents who, you know, gave their time to make videos for us to be part of this presentation, and that was really, really special. And then, and being here and showing up to support us, and then Miss Trish editing for hours to make sure
Wow.
highlighted to you in a beautiful way.
Well, I just wanted to throw one other thing out there that we're offering to the other levels. If there was something that you forgot about or didn't think to ask tonight, or if you wanted a true upper elementary tour, please feel free to reach out to me. I've done it many times. I can either tour you personally, or if there's a group of you who would like to get together and have a tour of the upper elementary, I'm happy to do that. So we will be emailing the lower elementary parents a copy of today's video with some other downloads and other videos. So feel free to reach out to me if you would like your own personal tour.
Lisa, also, I think it might, if I'd like to extend maybe Cindy and I, since we've had kids, multiple kids that have gone through the program, if parents want to reach out to us personally as parents. Because
my daughter went through it too. So it's like, yeah, we have a lot of people here. We can definitely connect you to a lot of parents.
Yeah, parents, if you have like, you know, questions specifically about kids, because I have had 4, and I said I had 2 move through Cedar, totally different kids, totally different learning styles, totally different kids. My oldest is graduating high school this year, and then my second is a sophomore in high school, and then my third is in 8th grade. So I'm free to answer a lot of questions for you guys, but I will say that this team is just incredible. And the fact that I got to come into this classroom to assist them and help them this year and see behind the scenes how they do it all is just absolutely even more mind-blowing than when I was viewing it from afar. Actually, not that far during the quarantine when I was listening to everything that was happening through virtual school. I was equally blown away. But this team is amazing, and we're so blessed to have everybody, including Jen and Stephanie, who's, you know, getting her PhD. So I will say that the rigor of the curriculum is something that I've been really wanting at Turtle River, and we have it. And we have the social emotional component, which to me is, I mean, you know, it's equally important. I mean, times are so crazy, and I will tell the parents out there who don't know my kids, I mean, no kids are perfect, but I will say that when my kids graduated Turtle River, they asked me to talk at the middle school parent night as well, because the thing that I am so impressed with is that my kids graduated Turtle River with a very, very strong sense of self. They went through, and my, as Jen knows, my second son was morbidly shy, and he blossomed in her class. And they know who they are as individuals because of the social emotional component of the classrooms at Turtle River up through middle school. In addition, they graduate knowing who they are, so that, you know, they can make good decisions for themselves, and they know where they stand on things, which to me is, you know, even I'll say more important than the academics. You know, you want kids, when you send them out to the crazy years of high school, who know who they are as individuals and are not afraid to stand up for what they believe in. So it starts all the way at the beginning, but this classroom is just amazing. I started to cry when I saw Cindy crying, but this classroom's amazing, and the middle school as well. So if anybody wants to reach out to me with any questions, I'm old and have had lots of kids go through the school. So thank you to the team, and thanks for everybody for joining.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.
Night. Thank you.